Hey, good morning. So today is day 6, and I have a headache this morning. And I'm gonna tell you, I was determined. I said, "All right, I'm gonna just one day, I'm gonna pass on the video." And then I was like, you know what? No, I had a great night last night, um, and I don't know why my head is hurting, but it's okay because today we're gonna talk about 3 signs that it's time to move on from a job, from a relationship, and from a mindset. And here's the deal. This conversation is gonna steer more towards the mindset and the approach towards making a change and being open to change than anything. So you can apply it to wherever you need, whichever one of those circumstances best fit your situation. So I'm gonna tell you, when it comes to change, not everybody is open to change, right? Some people take it hard. Some people they fear it. Some people, because it's the unknown, right? If I make this change, if I'm doing something one way for so long, I'm used to it. It's something that I know. It's something that I love. I'm comfortable, right? Why would I make that change? And when you think about making a change and it bringing you out of your comfort zone, sometimes you get a little scared, right? Whether it's in business, these are my notes. Whether it's in business, whether it's in your relationship, whether it's in, work, you get a little scared. So I'm gonna talk to you about some signs. These are the things that you need to look for to know that it's probably time for you to make some changes. Get out of that comfort zone. Explore. See what else is out there for you, whether it be in any of those situations, right? Number 1, you feel drained instead of fulfilled. I can't tell you fulfilled. I can't tell you how that indicator can sometimes cause some confusion, because you could be like, well, I feel drained because I'm giving my all. And I applaud you. And I do hope that in most circumstances, especially if it's something that you want to be in, that feeling of drained is because you're giving your all and there's a reward around the corner. But I'll also tell you that you need to pay close attention to it. Pray, focus, write it down, brainstorm, consult with family, friends, close associates, your partner in your relationship, whatever the case may be, to make sure that that's still your passion. You want to make sure that that's still something that you're into, or that job that you're working that you really don't want to let go because it pays the bills, but you're scared to get back on the market. I get it. But there's tools and resources available to kind of help you navigate through those tougher waters, so you can see, do you want to stay on that boat, or are you ready to jump ship? Feeling drained isn't a good feeling. Let's just be honest, right? Nobody wants to feel drained. But I think if we allow the feeling of drained, right, exhaustion to overtake our thought process, we're only going to harm ourselves. So make sure that you know you're making the right decision and for the right things. How about if you're growing, but your environment isn't? I've worked certain jobs, I'll be honest, where I felt like, and it's not because I'm just this big superior person or nothing like that, but there were certain situations that I've been in and I felt like I've outgrown this situation. This no longer serves me, right? I can do this in my sleep. It's no longer a challenge. I'm not professionally growing in this manner because I'm doing the same thing over and over. I've already mastered this skill. The people around me aren't, it's not exciting to come into this environment. There's nothing that's motivating me to keep this thing going. I think it's time for something new. And I want to keep keying in on the workplace because I'm actually going through a bit of a transition myself. And I think that one of the key things is making sure that you keep all your eggs lined up. Keep your stuff organized. Keep your passion intact. Know what you want. Have your expectations. It's okay to have expectations, man. Some people say, oh, you want to lower your expectation for this, lower your expectation. I say raise your expectations, right? Raise your expectations. Let your goals catch up, right? Put in that effort and that work to get to where you want to be, where you desire to be. There's nothing wrong with that, right? Claim your advancement, whether it be in any of those categories, financially, relationship, business, work. Claim your advancement. Start acting as if you've already achieved it. Start feeling that growth. Start seeing what it feels like to, dress a little nicer and smell a little bit better and, take a little bit of extra time to meditate in the morning, whatever the case may be. Practice when you're doing your meetings, being a little bit sharper and more clear and concise with your verbiage. Like, do those things that put you on the right path. Number 3, your values no longer align with the situation you're in. This one is spot on, but it goes right in line with what we've already discussed. If I have some values that I strongly stand by, you can't change my values. Can't. They're my values. In the military, they have some values. Different organizations, they have values. They have a mission. They have, certain ethics within the organization. And then you have basic morals and ethics that you want to follow, etc. But your values, those are yours. Don't let nobody change your values. If it's something that you stand for and it's some things that you have to compromise with, you want to be careful because those are your values. No one can tell you how to be a better version of you except for you. And what I mean by that is I'm not saying you can't take advice and you can't look at other people and try to mirror those actions. I'm saying the things that it's going to take for you to get to the next level, they're internal. You know what they are. You have to put in the effort to try to get there. Next thing, let's say you're falling into a mindset of settlement. You feel like you're settling. I'm just accepting this because that's just the way it is. That's a statement that boils my skin, right? It doesn't have to be the way it is. And just because it's been done a certain way for so long doesn't mean that's mandatory for you to follow that same status quo. If you can bring a disruption, a healthy disruption, to make some change, to advance and make progress and have progress, to take things to the next level, don't be afraid to introduce that. Introduce yourself to it, introduce others to it. Make it clear what your goal is so people know your mindset. Make your values clear so people know what you stand on. Settling isn't the way to go. Settling will keep you in a continuous loop. And then you start making excuses. And the next thing you know, when you get even more less of what you deserve, you start accepting that too. And now you're trying to make all these swings and pulls when you didn't feel like you were getting what you deserved in the first place. And then the last one, you feel disrespected or unvalued. As we talk about signs to move on, the feeling of disrespect is one of those things that is pretty universal throughout, the different areas of which you could be moving on from. Disrespect is one of those things that you shouldn't really give people a lot of time to do that reoccurring, right? In a lot of cases, disrespect usually takes one time for you to know that this person doesn't respect you. I'm not saying you can't forgive. I'm not saying you can't forget. I'm saying if they're constantly showing you that disrespect is the only offering for you, you trying to convince them otherwise is the wrong answer. So how do you apply that on the job? You want to think about it like, if a job is not respecting your value, if a job is not respecting your talent, what you offer, what you bring to the organization, again, the ball is back in your court. You can try to force them to respect you and ask for a raise and talk to senior management or whoever your senior leadership is and have a conversation about how you can feel more valued or respected. Or you can branch out. You can take on things that help speak to increasing the value of your resume, your history, your experience. You can continue to build within that network or even outside of that network. So that way you're expanding your reach. So if it is time for you to make that transition, the connections are already in place. Signs to move on can sometimes be tricky because, you'll question yourself a lot. Is that a sign? Is that not a sign? Is that a sign? Is that not a sign? And I'll be honest, there's no straight, direct, this is how it is printed in stone. This is the way for you to know. This is the way for you to do it. It's going to take a lot of meditation. It's going to take a lot of prayer. It's going to take a lot of gut feelings, right? How do I feel about this? And then a lot of reason, right? You may find yourself negotiating with yourself to figure out what that transition time frame looks like. What does transition look like, and how open you are to it? That's the power of it, though. You are the most valuable person to you. So if you have that knowledge inside, supply your heart, apply your thinking, and take advantage of resources that are available to make sure that when that transition time approaches, you're ready. I like to brainstorm. I have brainstorm meetings sometimes. Sometimes they're with myself. Sometimes they're with mentors, friends. But keep that conversation going, because understanding that you deserve respect, loyalty, and to be valued is extremely important for our day-to-day. So short and sweet today. I hope these signs help you if you're trying to navigate through some rougher waters so you can start making some critical decisions that's going to advance you. I'm super excited for you. I'll see y'all tomorrow. I go by Jay.